maybe still be live.
We're on now.
Okay. Welcome back to the Tier 1 Podcast live. Hey, before we get into tonight's show, Drew, go ahead and pull up the picture that we had talked about. Something very serious we want to talk about. We're going to talk about a lot more, but we want to start the episode right, and where we're going to give credit to those that are still serving, putting their lives on the line. And Sarah Beckstrom, a National Guardsman serving in DC, has given the ultimate sacrifice. She has lost her life in service to this country by a horrible, horrible attack that we may argue here in a little bit should have never happened, but it did. So we will give her credit where credit is due, say her name. We've said it many times this episode. You died twice. The physical death, and then the last time your name is spoken. And so we will do our part of ensuring that everyone knows her name. And not to forget Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf, who is fighting for his life right now because of that savage attack. So we want to honor these two servicemen, or the serviceman and women. Drew, will you open up this podcast with a prayer?
Be my honor. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for who you are. We thank you for your grace. We thank you for every day you've given us and every breath that we take. Lord, we want to lift up Sarah Beckstrom and Andrew Wolf. Lord, Sarah's family, Lord, we just pray that you give them grace and peace in this hour. And Lord, we pray for healing. And Andrew, Lord, if that be your will, be with their families, give them grace, give them peace. Lord, we thank you for their service, their sacrifice, and Lord, we pray that it would not be in vain and that our country will act appropriately. And with your wisdom, Lord, we pray that you would grant our leaders wisdom. And we pray this in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. This one's for Sarah. Salute. Drew, intro.
Special Forces ready.
Welcome to the Tier 1 Podcast.
This is amazing, dude. Check this out, right?
All right. Welcome to another edition of the Tier 1 Podcast live. We do it every first Thursday night of the month. We just did a recording earlier with Mike Sarraille. He is here. He is a former member of the Tier 1 Navy side of the house. It was great having him on. But before I get too deep, hold on, Drew, and make sure. This episode is brought to you by Elevated Silence. Elevated Silence builds phenomenal products that make life more enjoyable for everyone. Their engineers and product development team work with the science of silence. They have cans for everything from 300 Norma to 22 caliber short. Each is finished with a proprietary coating that prevents carbon buildup inside the suppressor. 22s are the exception. They offer every mounting option you could want. The Dura HD 556 gives minimal blowback while still delivering top noise reduction. And their new 30 cal line in 3D printed titanium launches in the next couple of months. Elevated Silence just wants to make the world a quieter place. Use promo code Tier1 for 15% off. So go to elevatedsilence.com for your next suppressor. This is going to sound a little bit prima donna-ish, but I know you understand this. You do. I know you're already wondering where you're going with this. After using a suppressor for years and years and years and years, it's a little bit difficult to shoot a gun without a suppressor these days. or if I go to the range and someone doesn't have a suppressor, I'm like, what are you doing, you savage? Get a can.
You jerk. Go shoot at that side of the range.
Right. Get a can, you savage. What are we doing? Afghans, Iraqis, and Syrians don't have suppressors. Not Americans. Go get a suppressor.
That always bothered me when you had to take out the foreign forces and they didn't have that. But it's like once you go silencer, you can never go back.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. In fact, I was just about to tell you a story. I thought it'd be a little bit into tactics. I was like, no, I will. But I always say this and I forget. Remind me, and I'm going to tell you that story when we're done. Although I know that's not why you turned into a live episode, so you could see two Tier 1 operators tell about how they're going to tell the cool stories off the air.
Dude, I was an officer. I got no cool stories. This one time at the ORP.
Hey, you got us there. Hey, we wouldn't have cool stories if someone like you didn't brief it good enough to get us on the objective. And that is not lost on us. Let's talk about, we got a lot of things to cover tonight. The cool thing about doing a live just once a month, we used to do it on my old podcast. I did every Thursday night, which was great. But some news cycles, you'd have a lot to talk about. And others like, well, nothing really happened this week. What are we going to talk about? The bad things is just that. After a month, there's all sorts of things to cover. And I doubt we'll get to everything that I want to talk about. But we're absolutely going to talk about what's going on and what happened recently in D.C. in regards to the shooting of 2 National Guardsmen. It comes right on the heels of us recording and then releasing our Islam episode. You better believe that those intertwine and parallel. So, Drew, let's pull up the that slideshow that we opened up the show on.
There you go.
Just to put them out one way, it's crazy. It should not happen here in America. National Guardsmen just protecting our capital should not be. I got to watch my words because I try to stay professional, try to say things that I don't mean, but this one just really gets me. It just really, really gets me. Next slide. This is the perpetrator. I'm not even going to say his name. He doesn't deserve to have his name remembered. And I say, well, some people say, well, you should know their name to put their name in infamy. But we have a history of people on the wrong side that infamy really is to some degree simultaneous with famous. So I won't do it. So that's why I've put this guy's name as Durka Ali Durka Mu Durka Dirk, aka the DC Dirtbag, is who this guy is. So who is he? He's accused of carrying out the ambush that killed Sarah Beckstrom, who was only 20 years old, and seriously injured Andrew Wolf, who was only 24 years old. Both were shot in the head. In this heinous attack carried out by this Muslim. And how do we know he's a Muslim? One, Christians don't attack our military in D.C., so it's not 100%. There's crazies everywhere, but that's a pretty good one. Two, the classic calling card of Allahu Akbar as he charged him pretty much solidifies what this guy was doing. And three, Homeland Security Christian Noem said that Mr. DC Dirtbag had been radicalized. Here's the kicker. Here's what kills me. You think he was radicalized in Afghanistan? He was radicalized here in this country, according to Homeland Security. And it believes he happened, the step back. Also, you want to know why it happened here and not there? He worked for us. He worked for the CIA. And it's difficult because it puts this tough thing. I was like, well, my first thought was, and this is why because I've said before, anyone who worked with the American government like earned their spot to come back to the United States. And I know I'm a little bit emotional about that, as I'd imagine. I won't speak for you, but I'll give you a chance here. That I assume most service members, including you, agree with, because they put on the line for us, and for us just to leave them and leave them for the Taliban to murder, it's not right. But then I find out he was a part of that program because he worked with us, and he worked with us at a high level. I don't know to what degree with the CIA, but at least worked with us, worked for us for the CIA. But he was radicalized here in America by those peaceful American Muslims, by the way, that are outbreeding me and you. He had 5 kids. And even more are pouring into our country unabated, thanks to Trump. That's actually not happening right now, and we're going to dig into that just a little bit later. But I'll stop right there with my initial opening rant, and really just anything you want to weigh in on, Mike.
I think you have to go back. One, the withdrawal was arguably, nobody's going to debate it, a complete and utter disaster. But and from our past, multiple people had advised the president to leave a contingent of, I believe it was like 2,500 to 3,000 predominantly special operations troops, air assets, combat support, and maintain our presence at Bagram. One, Afghanistan has geographical significance because it puts us in Asia. It gives us staging base. But those plans were intended that the special operations could maintain the relationships, advise and assist Afghani forces to maintain security, and we would not have seen Afghanistan fell in, what was it, 4 days?
Not even.
No one.
4 hours.
4 hours.
I know what you mean, but yeah, just.
So you're right about you make a covenant with people when they assist American forces in a conflict in their host nation,
right?
And a guy like that, given his past, if the Taliban had found him, would have murdered him and his family.
Absolutely.
But they rushed through this process because we had no other choice, given how quickly the Taliban had taken Afghanistan, and the vetting process was not as thorough. And we're seeing that. So if this guy got through,
understatement of the day right there.
Understatement of the day. If this guy got through, how many more internal threats do we have? Because similar to the border crisis in letting 15 million undocumented illegal aliens in, which we don't know who's amongst them.
Yeah.
Same thing. If you think the U.S. government has visibility on all the Afghans that came in, I've got some waterfront property in Arizona I'd love to sell you. But we're seeing this experiment play out with other cultures that come over here, and we all grew up in the American dream of, we're a nation of immigrants, but some of these experiments are not working out. And just if you need proof, look at Europe. Look at Europe.
For sure.
It is a dumpster fire due to the mass immigration, predominantly from the Middle East and Africa.
Yeah.
And we just need to look over across the pond at what's going on there. And that is the tea leaves. If you need to read the tea leaves,
right, it's
Europe. Either take action now or we're going to end up in the same predicament they're in.
That's what upsets me. We know how this story ends.
I've seen this movie.
I've seen this movie. Another thing that you bring up that just irritates me. How many times do we have to see how one of these social experiments goes? Have we ever done, it's just true. Have we ever done a conservative social experiment? Can you think of one conservative social experiment where the left was like, okay, we're going to try this crazy right idea. We don't think it's going to work out, but we'll give it to you. I can go down the list of why is it every time we do a social experiment, it has to do with us giving up ground to the left.
I can name one.
Please do.
Turning Point USA. But wasn't accepted by the left, but you see how that ended up with Charlie Kirk.
But what I'm talking about, I know what you mean by that, and it was one of the few things the right has ever kind of gotten through, pushed through. But they did that off of their own hard work. What I'm talking about is whether it be DEI, That was an experiment that we tried, essentially, right? Almost every woke agenda, open borders. I mean, legally, we never said we had open borders, but we had such loose policies, and they're like, "Hey, well, let's try
They were
this."
open borders.
They
They
were
were open borders. Let's not mince words. Arose by the internet.
Right. Legally, no. Realistically, we had open borders. What I'm saying, everything we try is always them trying to see if they're socialism. New York's about to try socialism again, and they're here for a rude awakening. How many times are we going to stop with the left experiments?
I've seen that movie. It was called Escape from New York, and Snake Plissken is not coming to save the New Yorkers. So
No.
You had a framework based off Judeo-Christian constitutional republic values,
Right.
and all you've seen is the erosion since the founding fathers.
And everything we saw before the erosion was the greatest country in the world
Yes.
doing the greatest country in the world things. Putting people on the moon.
All the way up to post World War II. I mean,
That's right.
Was it one out of 50, or 1 out of 2, 50% of all veterans that came back from World War II started their own businesses and built this economy to what we know today.
Back-to-back world champions. We got our original, just like you said, Judeo-Christian values is what built this country. And then when we got to its peak, what was the crazy thing we decided to do? Let's drastically change course. Like nowhere else would you do that. Nowhere else. If this country was run like a business, and you're a businessman, you're in the business world today, would you ever look at what got you to be one of the greatest businesses within your channel, within your realm, and then look at it and be like, no, we have to tear the whole thing down and start back over? Said no one ever. And if it got off track, you as a
CEO,
as a CEO would look back and say, let's go back. When was this business the best? Let's go back and give that a try. That'd at least be probably your primary course of action.
You articulate that in such a great way. If the train has come off the tracks, reverse engineer to the point where it did, or where it started to go out of speed or veer left or right. The thing is, and we can go many directions with this.
Yeah.
What I personally think is it was higher education or education in general that is completely tainted.
Yeah.
This our civilian populace and change mindsets, and it's
and has done that from
any
civilian
narrative
to military. And we talk about that during the episode, just a little bit of teaser and into the episode, which we'll release just this Monday. Drew, I want to stay on this topic just for a little bit because I can go on this rant and rave for too long. Let's go to, in fact, Drew, go back to the slideshow, if you will. And of course, it didn't end there. It's been a bad PR week for the American Muslims. So this is, and again, I won't say his name. Drew, the camera's in the way. Can you see what his Tier 1 podcast name is?
I believe it is Ali McTurgnugget, Jihadi Abu Buttstuff, a.k.a. the wannabe Texas terrorist.
Yes, that is his name, and I really would admonish and push for CNN and Fox News to only refer to him as that from now on. This guy, he is an Afghan national as well. He was arrested in Fort Worth for allegedly making threats of a suicide bomb attack in a video posted on TikTok. Federal court documents confirm he spoke of wanting to kill Americans and expressed his support for the Taliban. He was also admitted under Operation Allies Welcome, and he is now being held on federal charges. So he's out of Texas. We just got done with our History of Islam podcast. And you live in Texas, Austin, right?
the People's Republic. Yes.
You beat me to it. We brought up several videos of Texas, a conservative value stronghold of this country. Devin, what was the data point you brought up about mosques being built in Dallas or Fort Worth area?
Dallas-Fort Worth, 48 in the past 24 months now.
48 mosques are being built or has been built in the past 2 years. And we're not talking Austin and San Fran, Austin. We're talking Dallas, Fort Worth. We have, when is the awakening going to happen? When are we going to realize hey, this isn't a good thing? And it goes back to what I just talked about. We tried this social experiment of welcoming everybody, and at some point, and this isn't, let me stop for a second. This isn't, hey, we're not welcoming, but like any house, when are we going to start caring who we welcome into this house?
So one, I think Governor Abbott has taken action with the Texas State Congress to outlaw not only the Muslim Brotherhood from building mosques.
Nice.
And I can't remember the name of the other organization, but
ISIS.
they are putting by a different name. Yes.
I know, but that's the problem. What keeps them from just putting it under a different name? Yeah, they can just put it under a shell corporation essentially, and move on. That's so hard to track. Texas
is taking this seriously.
I love to hear
Michigan,
that. I'm glad.
Minnesota, not so much. You guys got a great governor here in Florida. So, we all hate to paint in a broad brushstroke of, hey, all Muslims are bad. That's not the case. Those that have assimilated to the American values, that believe in capitalism because they came from impoverished situations in Saudi Arabia or what else, some assimilate well. But, sometimes you just got to let things get worse before the public will take it more seriously. But look at everything. We are seeing arguably the pendulum swing back right.
Yeah.
I think, COVID was a game changer, and it almost put fuel on a lot of these woke ideological frameworks or the things like DEI. You're seeing DEI get canceled.
Yeah.
You're even within the private sector. And that's a big deal when companies are like, hey, we're getting rid of our DEI program.
Right.
So, everyone was so scared of getting canceled in these last few years, even though the majority was getting canceled by the minority.
Right.
But we're seeing that pendulum come back, and we're seeing what Pete Hegseth is doing with the military. It is moving in the right direction.
Love that.
I wish I had served in this military, and we could go for days on that.
Yeah.
A novel idea called standards, combat standards. But from DEI to the LGBTQ community, you're seeing people say, okay, hey, this is not common sense. This is not good for our children. We're done with this.
Right.
The question is, how do we keep that momentum going without the Democratic Party derailing it and bringing it back to the left? And that's something the Republican Party has to play very cautiously.
Right.
And you see it with both parties when they think they've got momentum, they start making the just wildly stupid decisions that derail it.
Well, I almost parallel it to like a football game, and I hate this when this happens. I would compare it to like a Florida Gator game, but we just don't have a lot of wins. But we did against Texas. Oh. And we did against Florida State. We were there. Ayo. But anyway, is when you're ahead, what do? They go into a prevent defense. How many times have I seen the Florida Gators go into a prevent defense and end up losing a game? Don't change what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, continue to do that. Stay on the offensive. Don't change the game plan. You go from playing a game to win, and then you go to a new strategy of playing not to lose, and then you ironically lose almost every time.
Good examples. What do we say in the military? The best defense is
a strong offense
because you're keeping the enemy off balance.
Right.
You look at post 2003, the initial invasion of Iraq. George Bush, what was it, on the USS Independence, saying we won the war. We went right into a defensive posture.
Right.
Allowed them to reorganize.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you have an insurgency.
Right. And then what it take to the surge to regain it back was an overwhelming offense. And it worked.
It did until we didn't. Obama didn't secure a status of forces agreement. We completely left, and then
Right.
you guys had to deal with ISIS.
That is that, and that we did. And again, it's just another subject. I love hanging out with you because we could talk about this for a long time. We're almost done with the initial segment. Hey, Drew, go to but this isn't just a problem. What's happening in DC? By the way, I believe DC is a gun-free zone.
I believe so.
With heavy gun restrictions to it. So I don't know how that happened.
And this is what I love, and I know Florida has the same laws. It's open carry. I mean, do you carry on you nonstop
Not nonstop, but heavily.
when you go out in town?
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is when we were in the military in the early 2000s, like when I left the family, the country was in a very different state.
Yeah.
I don't deploy anymore, and I hate to say it, like I've got this fear of every time I go to work, is my family safe? So like I carry everywhere I go. We carry to the office, but this country, I just don't feel safe anymore. It's not my ability not to protect myself, but
Right.
I'm not with my family all the time, and I've got a 14-month-old daughter, of course, my 21-year-old daughter and 17-year-old son, but I'm always in this constant state of fear for my family now, and I hate it. I hate it.
Well, the country as a whole has had a constant erosion of its Judeo-Christian values.
And legal system.
And-
you want to destroy something? Destroy the legal system. The
That's-
rest falls.
District attorneys and judges are absolutely despicable for what attorneys won't even bring to court, and then what judges will rule on, or it's a shortage at so many levels.
This is where I think the Republican Party went wrong, and the Democrats played it a long game strategy. And the Republicans, I think, need to go back to it. Is think micro in order to reach macro. Don't think national, think local. One, district attorneys, we understand that. School boards, sheriffs.
I've said this before. The left is way better at us generally in doing that. We do well on a national level, but you're absolutely right. They own school boards. And you want to know who has your kids? The education system has your kids. They only need one generation with your kids, and they can change the mindset and culture of this country. And I hate it because it sounds like rhetoric, and I'm not saying the Democrats are the enemy. It's a bad way to say it. They are fellow Americans, and I will debate with them peacefully all day long and respectfully. I will debate with them, but I look at them as a political enemy. I don't know if that makes it sound any better. And as we should, I see some of their victories, like the education system, and like any adversary. Let's call it adversary. Maybe that just sounds better to make myself feel better. You better look at what they've done and then find out what they've done well and emulate it. You'd be silly not to.
Well,
and we've done a really bad job. They own our education system, and we have no counter to it.
And again, I think the pendulum is swinging in our direction, but that's going to take time because they've been at this for the last arguably 3 decades.
Right.
So two things. One,
It's going to be hard to get the 17 Karens off the educational board. They're
things like, hey, guys, I was born and raised in California, and you know that. I've lived in both San Francisco and now I live in Austin. So for California school boards and the government to say things like the parents don't have a right to know if their kid is
Get
struggling
outta
with their
right.
What common sense logic is that? And
You
that
should be able to get punched in the face after making a statement like that and not have any charges.
but it goes to the point. I'm all about civic debate, but you can't. And this just shows the disparity between the two sort of thought paradigms is that we've become so entrenched in our divergent views. You cannot have a civic debate with someone who stands on grounds of emotional superiority. It's like, you know what? It's like pouring water into the ocean thinking you're going to raise the tide.
Which is the same exact mentality we're about to bring up on this second one. Even though we've jumped around, we haven't jumped off of this initial topic of problems in DC, problems in Texas, and guess what? We have problems in Michigan. Drew, can you go to IG and play this one? This is here in America. Can you believe there's chance of death to America in our country?
America!
Not a great look. The mayor condemned it. The White House condemned it. But what about Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib? She reps Dearborn. Is she okay with her constituents chanting death to America? Fox Business correspondent Hillary Vaughn asked her. Watch.
Congresswoman Tlaib,
Fox News. I don't talk to Fox News.
at a rally in your district, people were chanting death to America. Do you condemn
Talk to Fox News.
chants of death to America?
I don't talk to people that use racist tropes.
Or ask hard questions.
Why can't you just
That's not
say
even a
whether or
hard
not
question.
you condemn
In
people
fact-
chanting death to America? Why are you afraid to talk to
Rashida,
Fox?
that's the
Is
most
not-
softball interview
not-
you'll
listen,
ever
using
get from
racist
Fox
tropes
News.
towards
Take
my
it.
community
Take it.
is what Fox News is about, and I don't talk to Fox News.
Is death to America racist?
Which is crazy.
Tough question.
Because she goes,
For some.
I won't answer you because you're racist, and your silence is essentially defending racism or hate speech at its core. It's insanity. That is an elected Congress representative who can't answer the question about her own district, won't even answer the question about what's going on in her district with death to America.
Well, we've heard her rhetoric before, and she's got some bad rhetoric. Here's the issue. We and some of the guys in here all defended freedom of speech, and we want to protect that. And sometimes freedom of speech means having to listen to things that you don't necessarily agree with. I know you believe that. I believe that. But certain rhetoric should result in immediate expulsion from our country, and that's extreme. That's extreme. And here's the issue. There's a difference between man's law and God's law. And I have no more faith and trust in man's law because it's become an abortion. And again, to our point of they've taken over the legal system. There's a point at which you can only depend on God's law. And God was a merciful God. He was also a vengeful God.
I've been doing more research in this, and I know Drew has too. And we're going to do an episode about this. You'll be wildly surprised that freedom of speech didn't really mean freedom of speech from our founding fathers as much as you thought it did. And that's concurrence with some of our first Supreme Court justices who ruled on certain things or gave opinions. Do you want to expound on that just real quick?
Yeah. Let's see. So the First Amendment, well, the Bill of Rights was only applicable to Congress. So the freedom of speech was to make it to where the federal government would not tell the states what they can and cannot say, but the states can do what they want. And that's why for many, many years, for the first half of our country, you had to be a Christian. You had to believe in God. You had to hold to Christian principles in order to hold public office. So it wasn't until around the 1940s that the Supreme Court justice ruled in favor of a 14th Amendment, making the Bill of Rights be applied to the states unanimously. That's why, like the Second Amendment, I'll finish on this, and like the Second Amendment, right to bear arms, that's so the federal government, only the federal government can't take your guns, but the states could regulate what they did with guns within each state. So it's only true.
Right. I know. And I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen with that episode. Drew started me down this road, and I started looking into it. I was immediately upset, actually, by some of the things he said because of things that I thought were true. And that's ruling off of emotion. And when I looked further into it, I was like, damn, he's actually right.
I was pissed when I learned it.
I was mad to learn it, but that is the truth. So it goes back to the free speech. It's like, I know we have free speech. If our founding fathers woke up today and saw Rashida Tlaib say that stuff, and they'd kick her out of this country so fast it'd make her head spin. and she'd have no freedom of speech to stand on.
I will watch that episode to educate myself. So I'm looking forward to that one. But you got to think the founding fathers are rolling over in their graves right now. There's no way they could ever, again, strong Judeo-Christian values, belief in God. They could have never forecasted that this country would be at the point that it is with the beliefs that some people hold.
Or else they'd have written a lot more specifically.
And also freedom of speech, you would naturally like to think that carries some level of decency.
Right. Yep. There was an assumption there. There was an assumption that they could have never known how far we'd fall from grace. Last thing that I want to talk about, because I know we got a bunch of super chats to get into. And so now we've covered, again, just to recap, DC, Texas, Minnesota, Michigan. Let's go to Minnesota, Drew, back to IG with what's going on with Little Somalia, if you will. Did you see their new state flag in Minnesota?
I did.
It looks like a cross of the transgender
Talk about pandering,
and
Somalia
flag.
To a small minority.
Here we go.
Minnesota, Somalis are defrauding the government to fund terrorism, more specifically Al-Shabaab, and they are using housing stabilization funds. According to Polymarket, they only have a 24% chance of ever being deported from this country.
This whole immigration, I'll call it, of Somalis into our country has been bizarre. And to think that within our own border, there are people supporting Al-Shabaab, it's really unimaginable for us as a country. I can't understand how people on the left think that that kind of thing is just the price of doing business. Like Joe Biden said infamously, come, the borders are open.
We just had the Syrian terrorist, who's the president now, at the White House. Yeah. They hosted somebody that's cutting our heads off at the White House.
It's ridiculous. It's insane.
Chris Rufo says the largest funder of Al-Shabaab is the Minnesota taxpayer.
Are you kidding me?
I believe it.
The largest fundraiser for Al-Shabaab is the state of Minnesota. And what are we doing about this? And it's Mike, this might be a surprise to you. I haven't always been very, and actually, I don't think this will be a surprise to you. I haven't always been very political. I couldn't have been. I just carried out orders. I didn't care who gave them to me. I just carried out orders.
Apolitical.
Yeah, I had a favorite. Don't get me wrong. Like, and we all did, but yeah, I didn't go to Thanksgiving dinners arguing politics or cared. And even the first couple of years I'll be honest with you, it started with COVID for me. That was my genesis of caring about politics. And now we have things like this. How does every American and how does the government not hear this story and come out and correct it with an iron fist? And I'm not sure anything's going to happen about this.
Yeah,
I'm just not sure. I mean, something will, but nothing enough will happen.
Because they hide behind man's law.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. But if there's an administration to deal with this, it's the current administration that we have.
I believe
Hopefully it'll keep going for another 4 years. But I love he's interviewing Mike Durant.
I know.
That's great.
I know.
And if you don't know who Mike Durant is, he's the famous TF-160th pilot that was taken hostage during Black Hawk Down. Best way to describe it. The FBI has a massive office in Minnesota. I know you
not big enough, or they're not doing enough about it. Stop collecting, do something.
Is it me, or is that the guy who's running for mayor in Minneapolis? It's like he's straight out of Central Casting for a member of some Somali militia.
I know. It looks like the guy's like, I'm the captain now.
I was going to say that.
It does.
It really does. It really does.
It's disturbing the amount of remittance that was making it back to Al-Shabaab in Somalia from the Minneapolis, St. Paul area was, I think, why the FBI grew the office to what it was. When you're speaking that rhetoric, when you're ripping off the taxpayers, that's just it's illicit. It's illicit activity. Bottom line,
blatant. I just can't. Here's what I don't understand. I will never understand this. I've just gotten to a point where I don't care if I get big. I'll just say what I want. And if I'm wrong, please, I will have a debate with you, and I will listen to it. But there's a reason I feel this way. And thankfully the pendulum is swinging, so I don't feel crazy anymore. What are you doing, Somalians that begged this country for refugee status, and you came to this great nation? And what's the first thing they do? And it's not just Somalians. There's people from every culture continue to do this, but I'm just going to pick on Somalis for a second. And you're going to go to try to recreate Somalia and Minnesota. That's insanity. You left that bad country for a reason. You came to this great country for a reason. So why would you recreate the crappy country that you came from? I don't understand it.
You can argue that Americans are the same. That's like somebody escaping from California and New York, moving to Florida or Texas, and then voting the same way. Hold on. You're not wrong about that.
You're not wrong about that. But at the end of the day, you're still under the umbrella of America, and you're still an American.
Yes.
Even though I hate that, and that's a good point.
This is why my wife and I have a three-year plan for Austin, and we're heading to Tennessee.
But I'm telling you, I'm a proud American. I make it up. Send me to Colombia. Be like, hey, you have to go live in Colombia. You know what I'm not doing? I'm not flying an American flag in my front yard because I live in Colombia now, and I'm going to learn Spanish fluently. And anytime I'm around anyone within their country, I'm going to speak Spanish.
You're going to assimilate to the culture and become a contributing member of society. Right. And I get it.
Don't do that.
You did bring up a great point. You know, soldiers have to be apolitical. You have to. It doesn't matter who the commander-in-chief is, whether you voted for him or not. But there was a pendulum to where when I'm sure when you got out, you're like, hey, I served my time, served my country for 20 years. And I want to start a business, be with my family. But you can only ignore the trends and the shift that are going on for so long before you actually speak up. And for me, beyond being a chief talent officer in my company, I'm a keynote speaker. Mm-hmm. I hit number 9 in the world for global leadership speakers.
We saw 8 actually. Oh, we were doing research.
Voting is going on right now.
You might have jumped the spot. You're 8.
But since I've become outspoken on Newsmax or Fox, you've seen companies that used to consider me as a keynote speaker for their sales kickoff. There is no tech company in San Francisco that's going to bring me in to speak to their companies. There is a cost with being outspoken, but it goes back to that quote. Let me say this. Yeah. You remember this. We all knew this. The only necessary thing for the triumph of evil is for good men to stand by and do nothing. And sometimes we're not talking about physical courage. We're talking about the moral courage to stand up and say, hey, this isn't right, and I ain't going to allow it. I didn't fight for this.
This is what I hate. What you just said is to standing up for your morals. This is what I mean when that's the half truth. That's only true if you're a conservative. If you'd have had liberal views, the tech companies would still have you in, and that's what I'm tired of it.
Different standards.
Right. Yeah. Drew, I'm sorry. I really enjoyed hanging out with Mike and having this discussion. This 100%. Particular topic was just something I really wanted to get through unabated. Let's go to the super chats. See what the people think.
Super chats. All right, guys, let's see. This is Chase Lee says, evening, fellas. Just took the ribs off the grill and poured a glass of FRCC bourbon with the wife. Shout out to the Indian River County Sergeant Terry Sweeting Mashcow that was just laid to rest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
thank you for that.
That is linked to the next one. Chase Lee does it again. All right, so I feel like an arse. That's for you, Drew. Not to forget the locksmith David Long that was also fatally shot. So I believe there's David Long was a locksmith in Vero Beach. He was they were trying to serve an eviction. Yep. And
brought a locksmith in.
Officer got killed. So did the locksmith, and another officer I think was wounded.
Man.
Prayers to their families. Braden Dalrymple, sorry, buddy. Still the sickest intro in the biz. Just wanted to drop in and say Semper Fi to Mike. The weight room calls. Can't wait to watch this one back.
I tell you, there was a lot of pressure on doing an intro when you're called the Tier 1 Podcast. Lot of pressure.
I was motivated by that. I'm like, those guys are badass. Wait, did I used to do that? The further I get away from the military, it's like I watched a movie through somebody else's eyes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Teddy Roosevelt says, any experience working with Coast Guard MSRT? If so, how are they?
Did you have any experience with Coast Guard?
So believe it or not, the Coast Guard started, they made an agreement with the Navy for some of their MSRT to go through BUDS and serve in the SEALs for a few years and then bring the best practices back to the Coast Guard. But have you all seen the video where the guy jumps on the sub, pounding on?
Oh, yeah.
You just have no response, but that's balls. That took balls, and that's an awesome video.
Holy Fook says, hi, Mike. What's it like being a SEAL and not having hair and using hair gel? What's the deal?
I'm going to say it right now. I choose to shave my head. I'm not bald.
Do you really?
No, Mike? I say that to my wife. She's like, hey, when it goes, it goes. And you got to go with the, what's the Jason Statham look?
Oh, right.
You just got to own it.
You know, I told Devin, I said, I'm making my announcement early. Things are slowly receding up there, and it's in my genes. It's only a matter of time. I said, this is what I'm doing. I'm going with the Hulk Hogan style. If everything goes off out there, I'm keeping the long hair, just throwing a bandana.
You're gonna be the long-haired bald guy.
Have you seen a lot of guys are going to Turkey for hair implants?
I've looked at it.
Was that C-Bum went?
Yeah,
it looked pretty decent.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe you can do a podcast episode and you go into your journey.
Just document the journey. What's that? You make money on going there. You understand how a mic works, right, Magnet? Or you don't? You understand how a swiveling mic works, don't you?
It's going to push the beer off. Be careful. You got to want it.
Watch out for George.
Yeah. I'm always afraid at some point they're going to see me be a jerk to Magnet, be like, man, Brent's really an a-hole, and not understand that me and Magnet have that
bromance banter.
That banter.
That banter. Bro banter.
Yeah. I don't talk to anyone else the way I talk to Magnet. Everyone has that one particular person in their life that you just have that banter with, and for whatever reason, it's Magnet to me.
Let's see. We got Teddy Roosevelt again says, outro song recommendation, Showdown by Electric Light Orchestra.
All right. Hell yeah.
$20. Wes. Thank you, Wes. Brent, Mike, and Drew.
Oh, you even got our names right.
Yeah, he's a gentleman. I think Rob opened up new entrepreneurship opportunities for Tier 1. There's Arse Blaster Pilot Studio, Arse Blaster Taco Truck, Arse Blaster Bidet. I've got great ideas, dudes. We'll work for bourbon. Cheers, boys. Something for the legal fund.
So he called me an ass blaster in one of his videos. And I just realized how it got funnier because I realized that ass blaster taco truck would be hilarious. And I didn't understand how funny ass blaster taco truck was until he did what was the last one? Ass blaster. Where'd it go?
Bidet?
Yeah, ass blaster bidet.
Oh yeah, bidet. Oh yeah. You got to sell that together.
Oh, you got to sell that together.
Yeah. Right after the tacos, you're gonna need that bidet.
The old 1-2 on the sales front. There.
It's just a clean joke, people.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Mr. JLR 6.7's $100. Thank you very much for the love. It's a horrible feeling losing someone, but what always chilled me to the bone was hearing their names at roll call for the last time during the memorial service.
I'm telling you, I'm sure in Bud's training as well in the Q course, of course, they always talk to you about losing someone, and which is a good thing because when it finally happened, it didn't rock my world. I was ready for it. I was like, they said this was going to happen. This happened. I was ready to I was able to process it, but the last roll call, I was not ready for that, and so I'll never forget the first time it happened. Second, third, it hits me every time. It's one of the coolest things that we do, but it is nothing prepares you for that.
And if the listeners haven't heard that, they pretty much call the entire platoon. Hey, Sergeant Tucker here, Sergeant Sarraille here, Sergeant Smith, Sergeant Michael Smith, Sergeant Michael R. Smith. And it's like a weight that just hits you like a runaway train.
And there's always eventually someone that's super emotional, and that's not a hit on anyone because they're getting a dry eye in the formation at this point. And usually there's someone that'll in the feeblest voice that they can come up with go, "He's not here," and that one gets me. And they go that he's not here. Oh gosh,
Brent, when I heard the news, I was laying in bed. It was about 11, 12 o'clock at night. And I have a son who's 23 years old serving in the Army. And that could have very easily been him.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, what those families are feeling right now, because if that was my son, I got up, I had to walk around the neighborhood several dozen times to cool down. I called you. I don't think you were available. I think I called, and then I called our other brother, have him talk me down. Because I'm like, man, if this was my family, what? I don't like the feelings that I'm feeling right now.
Senseless. That's the big, and in a weird way, Mike, I'm sure you understand this and feel the same way. The biggest difference between this, it's not all deaths are the same. Training accident deaths are senseless to some degree. I mean, we train in a high risk environment, as we should, but no one should ever lose their life in training. And that's still a fact. Combat deaths are understood. Even if they could have been prohibited, we understand, hey, that's just what happens.
It's a natural byproduct.
That's right. And in a weird way, generally speaking, I didn't take those deaths real heavily because I understood, and the next mission, it could be me, and the next mission, it could be you. We just understood that was a part of the business that we were in. But this DC lost, it really has me upset because it's a truly senseless loss. Should have never happened.
Senseless, and we were talking about this at work. We lost 13 in Kabul, and that crushed me as if that was our fault that we allowed that to happen. That we didn't put a cap on Afghanistan, a final nail in the coffin.
Right.
But when you think about it, these two are almost a continuation of that 13.
Man, I didn't even think about it like that. Yeah, like it kind of is, and I love it. We've talked a lot in the time you've been here. You're without a doubt an officer, a proud officer. That's not a hit. I love how you take that.
The way you said it just was.
I love how you took that as a hit,
asshole,
which is why I like you, Mike.
Yes.
Which is but you. That's back to banter. You know better than that.
I know.
We have to have good officers. That's what that is. Unfortunately, or
Don't
fortunately,
put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
What runs this military? And as a good officer, this has got to it's got to infuriate you. If you as a ground force commander were on a national level mission, and that's what we train for. That's at any given point, either place we worked with. I mean, you want to talk about the weight on your shoulders. The next mission, this mission could embarrass your whole country. That's a lot. That's a lot to put on a man. This next mission, you could embarrass your whole country. And if you did, Mike, as an officer and the ground force commander, if you poorly executed that mission, and the reason it was a failure because of poor execution and poor planning, dude, would you have a job when that helicopter landed?
Yes and no.
Sure.
It depended if it was gross negligence. No. But what I did see from our commanders was they who'd stepped in your shoes at one point in their younger careers knew that some things go wrong and that they couldn't be accounted for.
I see where you're going, but I'll do a better job of leading you down this. I'm talking about failures like an Afghan evacuation failure that was led by the general officers of our military. Do you believe, and maybe you don't, and that's fine. Like we can have a difference in opinion on this, and that is fine. I know this. If I executed that mission, at least in my eyes, if I executed that mission, if I got back, I would not have a job. No one paid the price. What happened in Afghanistan was an absolute black eye to this country. And in your, I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but welcome to the podcast world, which you know of. Whose fault was it? It's someone's fault, or are you saying it was no one's fault? It's just it was a large operation.
Absolutely not. That's a non-answer. Right. So one, the administration holds the bag.
Okay.
That said, the administration tasked the military with a very tough task for which there's been zero accountability. And I won't even get into the leaders that were in charge, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs at the time. And I hope, and I know it was on Pete's list, to reopen that, to hold people accountable. This is where I'll go with this. Have you ever read the book, The Generals, by, I want to say it's Tom Ricks. I'm forgetting the author's name.
Okay.
You need to go read the book, The Generals. It talks about the systematic decay of the military post-World War II.
Yeah.
When you read it, it'll talk about how generals would relieve other generals for gross negligence, incompetence, or just merely not getting the mission done, which the over-professionalization and civilian control that sort of creeped in on the military. When's the last time you've seen a general held accountable other than, and McChrystal is the only one that comes to mind because he spoke out against the administration.
Right.
But I think, again, the pendulum is coming back.
Yeah.
We were seeing with Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, which I love that, Secretary of War Department.
I love it too.
And I know so many people just lost their ever-living minds about that in semantics. And they don't know the history that it was the War Department until post-World War II, where they wanted to soften the optics on it. But when you read that book, you'll come back to me and be like, yeah. So the zero accountability for the administration. And it was funny that the after action from the administration was released on Easter, and it was only 11 pages long. We lost 13 soldiers, and it was an 11-page. That thing should have been probably 1,000 pages deep dived into the. So the administration, and yes, there's a few generals that need to be recalled and held accountable.
All right. What else we got, Drew?
Let's see. We got Joe Saunders. Yippee-ki-yay says, I'm a huge believer in win in Rome. Do as the Romans do. Just saying. Integrate. Else, what's the point? Again, just saying.
Yeah.
Wile E. Coyote. Thank you so much. Wile E. Coyote picture looks a lot like Wes. I don't know. Anyway, an Afghan trained by CIA working with U.S. comes to USA and becomes radicalized by Muslims in USA. The guy came from one of the most radicalized places in the world. Something doesn't smell quite right. Shudder think that what even worse coming via open border crossings.
I know. I don't like the fearmonger. I just don't. And it's the intelligence agency, and there's some people that have been on the Sean Ryan show from the intel agency that love to fearmonger and get people all worked up. And they're not wrong. I'll say this, they're not wrong. But yes, I'm sure we have terrorist cells inside this country. I'm sure we do. It's not something I worry about. That's not intelligence. To me, I'd always business is always an easy thing for me to correlate things to. That's like saying, hey, the market's gonna have a reset. Well, of course it is. That's great. When is it going to have a reset? Now that'll make you money. If you that's what matters. That's actual intelligence. Don't tell me there's terrorist cells inside the country. Of course there are. There probably have been for as long as we've been a country. Tell me when they're going to do something. Otherwise, you're just fear mongering, in my mind. But yeah, the open borders. I don't think people I say that, and I'm about to fearmonger. I don't think people really understand how big of a national security threat open borders are.
From the Chinese to other nations outside of, let's say, Mexico and South America, the amount of foreign immigrants that came in is disturbing. We know China has cells here. We know that ISIS has cells here. We know that Iran has cells here.
Wide view, Drew. Sorry.
Not bad. You're right.
No, you're good. You're good.
And the question is when? And the IC community, the intelligence community, I have nothing but respect. There has been some abomination to that community through politics, but they have an almost impossible job trying to find that needle in a haystack. That is a difficult, difficult job.
And this is what I really, to some degree, get upset. And I hope, and I get it. Some people just, if you don't hear things through a certain lens, then you just don't. You don't know what you don't know. I hate that saying because it's so vague, but sometimes it's just the best saying I can come up with.
All right, so I'm sorry.
What gets me really upset is that our border security is not more of a bipartisan issue. It's absolutely ridiculous that it is widely viewed as a Republican issue. That's insane to me. That's insane.
Well, you go back. I mean, you had Biden talking about strict border security. You had Obama who believed in strict border security. Clinton.
Bill Clinton. He's right.
Where was the deviation? Again, there was like COVID. It was with the ideology going so far left. What was the point at which that changed?
I'm glad you brought that. That's where I was going with it. I'm glad you brought that up. That is a new thing. It wasn't always a bipartisan issue. That just used to be an American issue. And let me tell you guys, that's still an American issue.
You can't have sovereignty without borders. You can't have borders without enforcement. And you can't have enforcement without backing those in blue or ICE to do their job.
Absolutely. Amen.
Yeah, well, it all changed when Biden the first time. Oh, no, not Biden, Clinton, Hillary Clinton. When she couldn't win, they found out we need more votes.
Oh, it is manipulation.
It is all about getting Democrat votes. It's all
socially
about
engineered.
You're not wrong. I don't believe so.
It ain't for no love. I promise you that, because they never had love before.
They didn't mind going to get Elian Gonzalez.
I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Bill.
Oh, what's that? Back in the 90s?
Yep.
Oh man, that was a Bill Clinton thing. That's right. Yep. That was a Bill Clinton thing. Yeah. Oh, Elian Gonzalez. Yeah.
So I confirm Wile E. Coyote is Wes. So good to see him. Precision with Purpose says one of the many reasons why citizens should be the only people holding office in the U.S. And to vote, you should be required to sign up for the selective service, also mandatory assimilation.
That's Mike. That's Mr. Mike Vito.
Oh, is it really?
It is. It's Precision.
Oh, there it is. And he's right. I'm not saying this is what we should go back to, but what I'm saying is our founding fathers were pretty smart, and I think we went too far too fast. Not to put you on the spot, but the original voters in this country, do you know what you had to be to vote in this country originally?
Landowner.
Boom. Could you imagine, just for a second, I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying, if only landowners today could vote, do you think our political system would look wildly different? And do you think, for the most part, every single person in office would be an American first type of representative?
You know the answer to that.
The answer to that. Right. I don't know. It's like they knew what they were doing.
Yeah. Land owning is skin in the game.
That's right.
Wile E. Coyote says, "Hey Brent, what do you call 100 lawyers at the bottom of the ocean?" A good start.
So this is another thing. I love people telling me things, challenging me, like learning things. One of the things is like, you want to make this country great and you want to fix our legal system. And he's not completely right on this, but he's not completely wrong. I find out He's like, all you have to do is ban lawyers from running for political office. And I thought, that's kind of weird because at the time, I don't really know that lawyers are a problem. And then you find out politician after politician after politician after politician were lawyers first. It's amazing.
And yet this president is a successful business leader. And I know some people will argue about that.
Yeah.
There are no better politicians than those who have built, scaled businesses that understand a profit and loss sheet, and that this math that the government has, it ain't mathin'.
Right. And it's just true. It's in my own life, I've had to, and not in my current lawsuit, but even before that, had to realize that lawyers scratch each other's backs. The whole judicial system is set up. You can be right all day long, but go ahead and self-represent yourself. See how that judge treats you. Go pay someone $2,000 to $5,000 to say the same thing that you were going to say, and then see if the verdict doesn't change. And it's just true. It's how the system is set up. I say that lawyers protect other lawyers. Once they get into office, they're not going to make political changes that are going to affect the ability for other lawyers to make a lot of money. And everyone knows that lawyers are a big part, especially if you're a small business owner. Laws and lawyers are part of your problem of being a successful, scalable small business.
I don't even want to deal with the court. Having been through a divorce and then and getting sued multiple times by that same person. Yeah. In discovery, it is a distraction. I've had an opportunity to go after people from a business perspective, and it's just like, let it go. It's more of a waste of time than it. I don't care how much money is on the at the end of the trail.
Right. And plus, even when you're right, a lawyer will, in just going through the system, this has happened to me in one of my last business ventures, where they took advantage of me and took what I would call, for me, a significant amount of money, but I can't even go fight them because it's going to cost me more than a lawyer than it's worth. And how's that for a fair system when it costs more to fight it than it is what you can recoup?
Hey, there are some shrewd business leaders who are very litigious that will sue everyone.
They're right.
We'll see how many people come to your funeral.
Yeah. What else we got?
Let's see. Wide La Table says, Kamala doo-doo, it smell like peak holes. Kamala doo-doo, come out the beehole.
What?
I don't know. Is that a like
is that a rap song?
I think that's the.
I just want to hear Drew say it again.
I think that's the jingle for the Arse Blasters taco joint.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Mike, not all super chats are equal.
I'm starting to learn this the hard way.
All right. Wingnut says Muslims out. Gotta go. Thanks, guys, and thanks for coming on, Mike.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, right wing gun nut.
Jennison says, just because you get a magic piece of paper saying you're an American doesn't make you an American. The culture of this country is dying because we keep letting these people in our country via H-2B.
You're not wrong.
Kraken Tactical says, you should see the crime we have here in, help me out,
VIC?
Victoria.
Where I live.
Victoria? That's
Victoria?
short for...
Home is that Australia? Or, I don't know. Home invasions, attacks, all committed by Sudanese immigrant teens, 14 to 18 years old. They get caught multiple times and released. The government turns a blind eye.
Yep. We have the same problem.
Gooch Parmesan says, hold Big Mike down and threaten him with excruciating tickles until we get some more unheard Johnny Kim stories.
I do have to comment there.
Okay,
you got to.
So
and I don't even have to tickle you for it?
Nice.
I just got a email from NASA.
Yeah.
I've texted, or not texted. I'm not texting with Johnny on the ISS station. Emailed. So he's holding a private Zoom from the ISS on Saturday. So looking forward to seeing him.
Cool.
And that's That guy is.
Gosh,
there are very few humans like that guy.
You want to talk about an annoying overachiever? That guy.
The funny thing is, again, I went to Buds with Johnny. Shipley was in that class.
Yeah.
And, I was kind to him, but I sort of made a quick sweeping assessment of him, like, this kid's not going to make it. He was just soft-spoken, small, and how wrong I freaking
that's
was.
awesome.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it.
So we got Hop Kismet says Naval Station Roosevelt Roads in Puerto Rico was shut down for years. Cold War forward base. Reopening it for drug interdiction operations.
Read it.
Your laugh's better than mine.
All right.
Although I'm doing it. All right, Holy Fook back in. He says, your guys' thoughts on the change, the monthly stipend for Medal of Honor winners just announced from $1,489 to $5,625. What other changes should be put in place for the Medal of Honor winners? No taxes?
For sure. There's so few of them, and they're so and they are. And don't come at me. I don't care. We're talking about the medal. We're not talking about the person or a certain person. This is one of those things where it's bigger than the person. It is the Medal of Honor for this country. You know what pisses me off about that? We only brought it up to $5,000 a month. Give them $100,000 a month. You're a Medal of Honor winner. You're the best this country has to offer.
I don't disagree.
What are we doing?
And the thing is where we can move on with our lives. Those guys are paraded around for the rest of their entire lives. It's like they've got to rip the Band-Aid off and remember the horrible event they were involved in, which somebody most likely died, and they have to live with that for the rest of their lives. Right. So give them their due.
And I'm telling you right now, I understand it. I know, people talk to me about certain people. I'm just telling you right now, I don't care. When it comes to Medal of Honor winners, I don't care. They don't put themselves in for it. It's something that you are now in this system and you're getting it, deserving it or not.
The only thing I would say is for the posthumous, please pay their families that
100%. In fact, I say 100,000. I'm telling. I know it sounds like I'm kidding. I'm not kidding.
Brent, of course you're not kidding. Our government has given way more than that to transgender education to foreign countries.
Exactly.
Come on.
To me, it's true. Like, where does it stop? $1 million a month? I'm fine with that. I know that sounds crazy, but we're talking about a billion dollars. That is it. We waste more money on that. Moving satellites a couple degrees for a mission we'll never go on.
I'm a little fearful, like welfare, because then there'll be manipulation in the system. Like, hey man, just put me in for the medal. Just come on, hey, but bump it up. Come on.
But yeah, and that will. Hey, at the end of the, you can, as many people can put in as they want. It has to be approved, and it's a should be, and generally is a good process. Anyway, sorry. Got a little bit of rant on that one, but that's crazy. $5,000 a month. We can do better.
Well, Brent, we are at the midpoint section.
Yes, perfect timing. It goes fast. All right,
run some ads.
Yep, run some ads. I'm gonna go take a bathroom break.
We are more than makers of steel. We are brothers in craft, bound by purpose and forged in pride. Every blade we shape carries the weight of the hands that built it and the hearts that will wield it. Brotherhood Blades stands for those who refuse to quit. The protectors, the workers, the doers. We forge with integrity, we carry with pride, and we stand shoulder to shoulder with those who live by the same code. Brotherhood Blades, forged in freedom, carried with honor.
If you've ever been to any of my tactical training classes, then you know how adamant I am about the use of white light and the importance of a quality, high-powered tactical light. That's why I use Cloud Defensive Tac Lights. You can't hit what you can't see, and neither can the bad guys. Clearly identify your target and simultaneously overwhelm his vision with hundreds and even thousands of lumens. Get serious about defending yourself and your family and go to clouddefensive.com and use promo code Tier1 to get 15% off your order. And they will donate 15% to FRCC's nonprofit, the Cat 2 Foundation, which provides free training and support to first responders across the country.
Revenge is an act of passion. Vengeance is an act of justice. Injuries are revenged. Crimes are avenged. Almost a century ago, big pharmaceutical companies re-engineered medical school curriculum and faculty with one goal: putting profit before progress. Anyone pushing back against the medical matrix they carefully crafted was threatened, silenced, censored, financially ruined, or worse. They are the problem. We are the solution.
You're clear to engage. Initials Mike Juliet Alpha. You're clear to engage with weapons. You're clear to engage with weapons. Look at them out, see how far away he is.
All right, we're back. What's up, everybody?
Oh, Drew, stop.
Like them. This is my new mask and my new look. This is my alter ego, Drucifer.
Oh my gosh. I can literally watch the viewers just plummeting, just signing off. Hey, real quick, just a couple quick announcements while we're mid-show doing the non-fun things about keeping the lights on. I know it's small, but it'll add up. We finally got stickers for FRCC. So go to the website, frcc.shop. It's right there on the homepage. Scroll down, like $1.50. But the challenge is to take them to every single bar you go to. I want to see FRCC stickers at every dive bar across this country. And I think it'll work out.
Above every urinal, okay? On the wall, not in the urinal.
So that we know that you're standing to pee.
Nice.
There's a big debate about that to catch you up on, about men who sit and pee. Is a pandemic in this country, Mike. Also, please consider joining our Patreon for more behind-the-scenes access. Please go to Patreon Tier 1 and consider supporting us there as well. Mike.
All right, hold on a second. All right, so this is the time we've been doing this drawing for FRCC.
Okay. Yeah.
And so the drawing is for a humidor, a starter kit for the humidor, 2 boxes of cigars, an ashtray made by a legendary SWAT officer in Florida, 3 bags of coffee. And thank you, everybody who participated. And the winner is Jason Thomas out of the great state of Texas.
Oh, nice.
All right, Jason, we'll be contacting you, brother.
Mike, do you have anything to do with that?
What I was going to say, you give me the humidor. I'll bring him back. I'll get with him.
Yeah,
I'll get it to him.
Absolutely.
He already had Medal of Honor ideas, so see a trend.
Let's see what we want to get back to. In fact, we've done enough non-fun things. Let's go to see what I want to do first. Drew, pull up a Safari. Let's go to the Admiral Bradley story. It's not as fun as I wanted it to be. We'll do something a little more fun after that. But we talked about this a little bit before the show. You're well aware of this story, of course, and you're well aware of these type of kinetic operations. Just to catch you up on it, essentially, right there, Admiral Bradley will soon face questions from lawmakers as Republicans and Democrats, bipartisan, express their concerns about a September 2nd attack on a boat in the Caribbean. And you guys can go read that on the New York Times, see more about it. But we'll basically generalize it and tell you what the problem is. And the problem is essentially this. They did a authorized, and no one has a problem with it, first missile to the vessel. But then it's the second missile that people had a problem with. That's how you understand it as well, Mike? It's the follow-on strike of people basically hanging on to boat parts and floating, and we struck them again. This baffles my mind. Like, you already struck them one. Guess what? As helpless as they were on the second strike, they were just as helpless on the first strike, and we decided to strike them. They were still targets. For 20 years during the GWAT, or the GWAT as Drew calls it.
Yeah.
Like that is how it's done. I have seen follow-up strike on follow-up strike on follow-up strike, and no one's cared. But now, so Bradley's been doing what he's been doing for years to no question. And now there's a question about it. What's going on, Mike? Can you make sense of this?
Let me speak to the man first.
Yeah.
That guy is a leader, and I say this rarely because I believe in a concept of kill your heroes. That is one of the few guys I would put up on a pedestal.
Yeah.
One of the most integrity driven, just off the charts intelligent, empathetic, inspirational leaders you'll ever work for. And I say that having served underneath him. That man is beloved by his men.
Love to hear it. Glad to hear that.
2, if we want to bring up all the videos of all the strikes that were conducted under the Obama administration, where they struck a target, saw guys crawling on the ground, and followed up with 2 or 3 more missiles until the target was eliminated. This kills their argument right here. This is the Democratic Party looking to pull on any string to create sensationalism against what's going on. This administration is the first administration, arguably, we have been at war with the cartels who've killed over 1.5 million Americans for 30 plus years. We interdicted, and this is the fentanyl we caught coming across the border based off the DEA calculations per grams. We interdicted enough fentanyl that would have killed 15 times the U.S. population. And that doesn't account for what made it past us.
Yeah.
So they're finally going against the cartels, which threatens the sovereignty and the safety of American people. Mitch Bradley has been conducting these strikes for the entire global war on terror, surrounded by JAGs, legal,
right,
to inform him and instruct him
right,
that he was within the right. And it's almost like you want to go down to logic. If somebody steps up to you, do you throw one punch, or do you throw as many punches as it takes until you know they're down and they're not getting up?
As many as it takes.
How many Americans would those drugs have killed? And we even saw last month the amount of drug-related deaths went down substantially. It's working. And if you expect me to cry for a bunch of drug runners,
right,
again,
yeah,
you're looking at the wrong place. So, and you've got to assume just the lack of respect for any sitting lawmaker. When you get called up to the Hill, is there any fear there whatsoever?
No.
I'd be like, hey, what do you guys want to talk about today?
Yeah.
Send it.
Right. You think, what's her name? Loretta James out of Texas? That you think she's striking fear in anyone? Think AOC is striking fear in any admiral's heart to ask tough questions?
Never served a day in uniform.
I think Rashida Tlaib is striking fear in anyone. So what's the problem is this, and to me, the wars have went away, and now the few strikes we're doing are a big deal. So they have a lot of eyes on them now. And so now everyone's looking at them like, and they're going, oh my gosh, like you can't do that. Because they didn't watch the 2,000 drops that we did, in 2014. And no one watched it. No one cared. Now you don't like how the hot dog is being made. Well, guess what? This is the way we've been making hot dogs for decades.
The other thing that people don't account for is it's a little more of a complex situation because you got maritime law, You got the rules of war, which were not an active war. You know, I don't think Mitch Bradley should have any fear whatsoever. The administration's behind him. Again, the lawmakers it's an opportunity for sensationalism to take a hit the Trump administration. It's just noise.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get back to super chats here in a little bit. And Mike, I just wanted to show you the range we have on this podcast. Sure, let's go to Instagram. You know, that little yellow fluffy guy. Let's go to that.
This is an important one.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Damn it, I knew you brought that. I fucking knew you brought that. You son of a bitch.
Most of those little it's like smelling salts.
Love that one. Squirt.
I don't know why we're watching it for so long. It's got to be really bad. Okay.
Oh, that's pretty. Oh man, I know what I want for Christmas. Oh man.
Just really wanted to show you guys some hard-hitting topics we're also willing to cover. There's two reasons I showed you that, Mike. I don't know why that video just makes me laugh. Okay. One. Okay.
We are children. We are adults.
Get it together,
All
people.
Right. One.
We're doing a show.
So unprofessional.
I showed you that video because it's my show that makes me laugh.
Because I can do what I want.
Two, what it really reminded me of was people forget we did such a high risk, serious job. And let me tell you, when it was time to get serious, I worked with the most professional people in the world who also happened to be some of the world's biggest jackasses when it was time to let your hair down. And they were the most funny people I've ever been around, hilarious, played the best pranks. And so it reminded me a little more of a prank video. It just reminded me of the hilarious times we had on teams before a helicopter picked us up.
There were even times under fire.
Oh yeah,
where somebody messed up, somebody cracked a joke, and guys were bawling, laughing. And
absolutely,
how contagious humor can be to lift a really bad situation is. But that's also that's why it's so dangerous to leave the military and step into the private sector, because our sense of humor and people are like, you say something and it's like a pin drops in the room and everyone's like, you're like, sorry, I'm sorry.
This is early on. I don't know why, whatever you told me just reminded me of this. So the Chappelle Show was a big thing, or early GWAT. We used to watch season after season after season on repeat of the Chappelle Show. I could quote it to this day. Well, there's one skit where he pretends to be like Oprah's husband, and then he's trying to protect Oprah because Oprah's his golden egg. And there's one thing where someone kind of comes close to Oprah and he just runs up and he's like, "Stay away from Oprah." That's all it was. It was like one of the most minuscule words, like little phrases. We're clearing houses in Afghanistan. And there's this guy moving towards a female in the house, and we're entering into this room. He kicks on the afterburners to get to him before he can get to a girl. And he yells, "Stay away from Oprah." Right in the middle of the mission. And we lose all composure before going into the next room. I don't know how quick you could think about that, but it was hilarious.
some of those things the public should never see if there's videos.
Absolutely.
Because they would be like, our military needs to be expanded. Like, you just don't get it.
Oh, gosh. And I'll never see another one of those blow-up outfits without wishing I had fart spray on me.
At first, I thought that was tear gas or some sort of...
No, way better. Hold on. Next level unlocked.
Next level.
Please don't do that.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay. We got through that one. Back to super chats.
All right, super chats.
From
Let's
fart
see.
videos back to business. That's how we transition here.
Cranking tactical. I think I didn't read this one. Success breeds complacency. Complacency breeds failure. Only the paranoid survive. Like it. Okay. Pete and that says, hi, Brent, and all from Australia.
Hello.
Down under.
I knew it was coming.
It was coming.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse.
I know.
Here we go, you guys.
Oh.
Almost there. Here we go.
Okay.
Mr. Plank, thank you very much for $50.
Yeah.
Marika, listening in while taking care of a 13-ounce kitten found in the snow. We've never done that down here in Florida. No. Brent, working on a bio about OSS members, starting with Wild Bill.
That's
if you
right.
have any info, please reach out. Outro song, August Burns Red Marathon.
August Burns Red.
$50.
Marathon. Baby, you got that? On the song request on that? $50. August Burns Red.
Of course I did. I had that as soon as it
Oh
came in.
gosh. I know. I
Get
don't know
outta
why
here.
I don't know why I do that. Yeah. Other than, of course, we talked about him on our when I was up the last podcast, we did a History of Special Forces episode, and of course, he came up on that.
See, mac and cheese, $10. Thank you, brother. Wiley Coyote is back in, says, in honor of your sponsor and suppressor, Thursday, Deep Purple, Hush for the outro.
Well, that should
$300.
I should probably do it. You'll get your song, sir.
Yeah, whether he's first or not. All right. Percy, $50. He doesn't even ask for a song. Now that's classy.
That's a classy man right there.
Classy move, Percy. Not that Wiley Coyote is not. Okay, I want to make that clear.
Good job, Drew. Good job.
Backhoe Joe with a C note says, I appreciate y'all, especially for fighting against wokeism. Made some cool friends out of the chat and off the IG. Keep slaying, boys. All right. Scotty Young. What? Brent was Kyle Morgan.
True.
What happened? What'd you do?
You called it a C note. Just cracks me up.
It's an old saying.
No, you're
$100.
You're not wrong. I just didn't know how a pastor of 20 years gets talking about C notes. I love it. I love it.
All right.
You've had your ear to the street for a long time. And it shows.
I know what dime bags are too.
I know. You call the GWAT the GWAT, but you know what a C note is. I just need consistency out of you.
Well, GWAT is 2 syllables, all right, and GWAT's only 1. It's just efficiency. Turds. All right. Scotty Young says Brent was Kyle Morgan, A, the greatest operator during his time in the unit, or B, the greatest operator ever. Keep up the Between Two Guns videos.
Unfortunately, Kyle's time was overshadowed by a legend with the initials. Well, I won't even say his initials. His name started with B, and it ended with Brent Tucker, and so it was really unfortunate for Kyle and his time there. But he was still recognized as a good operator, just not the greatest. We did another episode of Between Two Guns with Mike. He was a great.
It was upsetting. Especially the last question. Last question struck a nerve.
They're going to love it. They're going to love it. We only have a few left. Backhoe says, meant to send $200 when he sent $100. My bad. Stay in the fight.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely, Backhoe. Appreciate it very much. How Arms? It's our man. Always here, brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Content amazing as always, and have been giving the bourbon to everyone around the shop. Hopefully get to see you guys later this month.
Heck yeah. Hope so.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't do anything to the quality that they're putting out there. All right, let's see. Op Kismet says there have been too many strikes since 80 plus kills.
Since 80 plus.
I'm just going to note $2. She just wanted to get in there.
But hey,
yeah,
you know what?
The contrarian.
That's how you know we're in it for the right reasons. We'll read them all from $200 to $2. That's
right. We got a spectrum of people. We appreciate them all.
Here's a story. I'm tired of showing you stories that rile me up. From Muslims to Admiral Bradley, having to go answer to spineless politicians.
This is why you got to limit how much news you watch or listen to.
You so really do. Drew, go to Safari and take it to the kids video. Safari, all the way to the left. I think it was the YouTube.
Yeah.
You got it.
This guy here. All right. Bink. Dink.
Welcome back, everyone. More than 120 missing or endangered kids have been rescued in Florida. Officials say Operation Home for the Holidays is one of the largest child rescue missions in the country.
Hell yeah.
News Nation's Brooke Schaefer is in Miami with the details. Brooke, what do we know about these kids? How are they doing now?
Hannah, the rescued kids range in ages from 17 to just under 2 years old, with officials in Florida saying many of them have been victimized in unspeakable ways. U.S. Marshals described this as mission critical, recently finding 122 missing and endangered children, mostly in Florida, during this 2-week operation. We have some video from Jacksonville where police there found close to 24 kids. Local detectives told us some of these kids were runaways who ended up around the wrong people, like 2 brothers police say they found in a meth house, severely malnourished. Those children now getting help this morning.
Many have been through the unthinkable. They've been trafficked. They've been exploited, they've been abused. This task force worked proactively to make sure that medical care and rehabilitation was ready immediately after they were back in our custody.
More than 200 law enforcement partners, including the FBI, worked together in what they are calling one of the largest child recovery operations.
There's actually 2 reasons I wanted to bring this up. One, just to rub it in your face from Texas that Florida is the greatest state.
Florida puts the F in FOFA, buddy.
I couldn't find Texas rescuing kids the way Florida is, but I'm not even gonna give you a chance to respond to that unfairly. It's just true. But hey, these guys, I mean, gosh, I don't know a nice way to say it. Mike, what's cooler outside of killing bad guys and rescuing kids?
Kids are sacred. They're not to be touched.
Not to be touched. And how you've got to be the worst of society that would dare steal the innocence of a kid. And if there aren't, I don't necessarily, because of this weaker culture where I'd like to believe that there's still, what do they call that? Like jail justice or prison justice, for pedophiles and people who touch kids. I don't want to leave it for the criminals to do the right thing. How about judicial system? You do the right thing. Crush these people with everything you can.
I was just going to say, I know how I would administer justice in those situations. Some things don't require a court. But no, when it comes to our kids, they are sacred. They are our future. Every generation coming behind us is the best generation. And we are no longer a culture where I'm sure, Drew and you left the house at 8 a.m. and didn't come back until 6 p.m.
Right.
And your parents had very little fear given the environment back then.
Oh, absolutely.
You'd be fine.
Right.
We didn't come back till 8 or 9 p.m. sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, it couldn't make me any prouder of the work. In fact, Brian's here in studio. Me and Brian have both given a lot of time to the Sentinel Foundation, who focuses on child rescue and counter child sex trafficking. And outside of my military work, it's the best thing I've ever done with the skills that the government has provided me, and nothing can explain the joy of saving a kid from most evil thing in this world, and even at times returning a kid back to parents. I've done them both, and it's just awesome. There's another thing I want to talk about on this, which is, I got to think of his name, make sure that I say it right. Todd Lyons, the acting director of ICE. I saw him on an interview just a little bit after this, and it was right before this live. I couldn't bring it up. Everyone of course, it just boggles my mind. Everyone who's against ICE, who's against removing illegal aliens from this country who don't deserve to be here. Besides that, do you know what else they've done? They've rescued tens of thousands of kids across the country. And shame on you, news media, for not promoting that story.
Certain outlets.
Certain outlets.
No, I've never seen
Newsweek and what is it? What's the other one?
Newsmax.
Newsmax, not Newsweek. Geesh, thank you. Newsmax.
OA and Dan Ball is a good friend of mine.
They can't carry the water for everyone. Guess what? CNN, at some point, you're going to have to tell a good story. You're going to have to.
That's the mainstream media is a whole different topic, and I think that's why more people are tuning into independent. Yeah, I mean, whether you
even
consider
podcasts.
yourself a journalist,
Yep.
You're reporting in a very very direct, very very truthful way. No, it's. I'm glad to see that. I just wish those kids the best in their families and the rehabilitation. And I know that's one of the toughest parts.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew that it would both be a feel-good story with the kids and also something that also riles you up at the same time, though, because it should have never happened to them in the first place. Drew, let's go to Instagram and let's go to King Picks Media. So King Picks Media. So every month I play a video of this guy, a veteran in the space. He just makes fun of the veteran community. Makes fun of. Do you know who he is by chance? Have you seen his videos?
Seen him.
Yeah,
I don't follow him, but
hilarious. He's a special forces combat cook, and then he like slides that in. And then he starts, and then that was like the biggest. It's a lot of satire, and he's just making fun of the training industry, which is a huge niche has not been exploited. Like there's so much to make fun of, and the veteran training industry does a great job of it. I actually went and looked at some of his older videos. If you go to King Picks Media on Instagram, for the first time, I kind of looked at it as a little bit of like almost research, like. With the Islam episode, like what's the history of Islam? For whatever reason, it's just how I look at everything. I was like, what's the history of this guy? Because at some point he came in my feed, but like, what was his earlier things? And I forgot. I'd talked to him, and I knew this. If you go back to his earlier videos, a ton of funny videos. But I love that he never erased it. His like very beginning is pictures of food. He was going to be a professional photographer. And so he has pictures of food, and then he has some serious like tactical pictures because he was just about photography. And then at some point he just became funny. But it goes back to some things that we talked about during our episode is you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And now he's bigger doing comedy than he ever would have been taking pictures of food or taking serious photos. He found his niche, but in a weird way, it also goes back to business, which goes back to special operations and planning. Like you have a plan, but guess what? When that plan isn't working, how fast can you identify those friction points? How fast can you understand the actual environment you're in and then adjust correctly and move on? And that's the same on the battlefield as it is in business, as it is as an Instagram influencer. It's all the same. So let's go look at his see what he's got for us this week. This is one of his older clips.
Who can tell me what this is?
Not sure.
Who knows what this is? No, it's not a Glock. This is a weapons platform. A weapons platform. Say it with me. Who knows what this is? A light? Light system. What do we use this for?
Light system?
To see? Wrong. We use it to collect information. Combat, pistol, course. You want to know my combat experience? Kuwait.
Kuwait.
All right. It's a real hot zone.
It's a real hot zone.
Who can tell me what this is?
I'd tell you, it's funnier, especially when you train people and you're kind of in the space and you watch. Sometimes you watch other training videos. It's so funny because what is this? Oh, a light. What is it called? A light. Gosh, now I forgot the word he uses. He corrects them. Like he said the right thing, but you did a light system. Yeah. Like you didn't use the exact words that I want to use because I have to make up these words so I sound smarter. Oh, what does it do? No, it's not that you can see. It's to gather information. We're saying the same thing, but I love it. And he always corrects them and maintains the instructor high ground with correcting them and basically saying the same thing in a fancier way.
But letting them know they're wrong. Maintaining the
ever so necessary instructor high ground. Man, if you want to see more of that, guys, please go support that guy. Always trying to push other veterans. And kingpixmedia.com. Go to that and you'll see everything he's involved with. Please go there. Put a smile on your face every day. I know he's doing a lot of things with Kyle Morgan right now. I think he might be his co-host, or I don't. That's the problem. He's so good at satire. I don't know when he's serious and when it's a joke, yeah. And so they floated that out there, but maybe it is, maybe it's not. This next one is for you, Mike. Are you still a proud Marine?
Always.
Right.
Always.
Exactly. You're walking right into my trap. Mike, what's going on with this? Can you explain this to me?
We will treat you as we do our fellow Marines, with firmness, fairness, dignity, and compassion. Physical or verbal abuse by any Marine or recruits will not be tolerated. If anyone should abuse or mistreat you, I expect you to report such incident immediately to me or one of my drill instructors. Furthermore, if you feel I have mistreated you, I expect you to report such incident to your senior commander. My drill instructors and I will be with you every day, everywhere that you go. I have told you what my drill instructors and I will do. From you, we demand the following. You will give 100% of yourself at all times.
The third comment down is actually King Pix Media.
Treat our Marines and recruits with courtesy and respect. You will not physically abuse or verbally threaten another Marine or recruit. Be completely honest in everything that you do. A Marine never lies or cheats.
I don't know what he's saying, but he looks real mad about it.
A Marine never steals. You must work hard to strengthen your body, your spirit, and your mind.
Who are you going to tell
Be
about
proud of yourself
strengthening
in
your
that
body?
uniform you now wear. Above all else,
My man's
never
got
quit
a size
or give
22
up.
waist.
For we offer you the challenge of recruit training and the opportunity to earn the title United States Marine.
Richard Mittens in the comment
We will
section
treat you
goes, that's it. I'm making it 23 a day. Oh gosh. In a weird way, like halfway through, I've seen this video before, but this is actually only the first time I almost felt bad about it. Actually, it was like, you know what? At the end of the day, like this poor guy, he is going to get bullied for this for the rest of his career.
I thought it was bringing
No, it was
to work day.
I mean, that wasn't a dude, was it?
No.
No.
Is that?
No, it was a girl.
No.
That's what's even
That looks like
crazier.
a 14-year-old girl with tattoos with a lisp.
Yeah, that was a girl.
I don't even know how to respond to that. If I was a what do they call them? Candidates?
Do you need to watch it again?
No. How fast can you put up a poll? Poll the audience.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ask the audience if they thought that was a guy or a girl. You actually blew my mind. I thought this was just a small guy this whole time. But now both of you, if not all.
I thought it was a guy too.
Okay, you're thinking guy?
Yeah.
Magnet, guy or girl? You didn't see it.
Rito.
Thanks for showing up and participating. Are you just here for the free cigars after the show? Is that what you're here for?
Big dick cigar for you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
You going, and Mike, you're going girl.
That was a girl.
Did you ever think guy or question it, or as soon as you saw it, you're saying girl?
Hey, there were some things that went through my head. I'm not saying on live, but I'm like, because there was a female drill instructor behind her. I have a male. I'm impressed that big black guy was holding his bearing.
Oh my gosh, that's a large, intimidating man.
Yeah. As a recruit, I would be like, this is a joke, right?
Yeah. Is this a test?
I'd be looking at the other recruits like, no. Okay.
Is this some practical jokers? What's going on here?
She's dedicated. She is dedicated. That is good on her.
Oh, I think my stuff froze.
That's right. Let's go back. Do we have any super chats left?
Well, I don't know because it's froze.
Because
I have a couple before it froze. I don't know. There might be more. We'll see. It says, Mr. Plight says, Mike, from one Marine to another. Yeah. Do you have any stories about meeting any notable Marines during your time? I was fortunate enough to meet MARSOC plank owners as well. Men like Arlie Ernie. Also, you like Johnny Sins.
You look like Johnny
I'm sorry. Yeah, those are two L words. I missed one. You look like Johnny Sins.
Now I'm upset because between two guns, I clearly dropped the ball on that one.
I've heard that a bit.
Yeah.
I personally, I think this is why my wife married me. But hey, all Marines are notable. Did I?
You are a Marine.
Reagan
I
said
love it.
What did Reagan say? Some people go through life wondering if they made a difference. Marines don't have that problem.
Right.
No. Did I know a lot of the MARSOC Det 1 plank owners? Yes. And actually, Brent, you know some as well. All I can say is there's a lot of Marines that were formative in the man I am today, and thankful for my time in the Marine Corps. There is no finer service that holds a standard. I think we arguably can, when we're talking across 200,000 people, 250, it's pretty damn impressive, man.
Absolutely. I say it all the time. The Marine Corps for a conventional unit is the best. They're the best. I love their standard. I love their culture. I hate to say it. No. And we talk about this, again, go to the episode. You'll see us talk a lot more about this. They're not conducive for special operations because of that culture. However, that's true at the beginning of that, and they have made adjustments, and now the Raiders are a great special operation element. But because of their initial culture, it was growing pains for special operations.
This is why, and I know we've got some vets in here, I encourage every young man and woman to go serve. And a good friend, he's the CEO of our company, Kirk O'Fell, he's a submariner, which arguably they're. Have you met much submariners?
No,
they're just different. I mean, to go and do a tin can for 6 months,
I'm not doing it.
You got to be different. It's and God bless him, because that is a strategic asset. But the way he said it is, no other institution in this world changes the constitution of a young man or woman better than the U.S. military within, whether it's 60 days or 90 days of boot camp.
Yeah.
And that is fundamentally true. The person I was when I went into Marine boot camp was drastically different than the person that came out in 90 days later.
We talk about this, and again, it's more relegated to like the 80s and 90s, but the Marine Corps held the standard. You can anything you can do too much and too well, which is just true. But I would always rather be on that side of wrong than the other side. And to kind of reiterate what I just said, but add on to it, it actually was slightly debilitating to their special operations. However, the reason why I would still rather be on that side of the war, which again we talked about, guess what? As much as I loved my special operations time, special operations don't win wars. Infantry. The ground pounders win wars. So if you're going to be so over the top with your standards and so over the top with your Marine Corps that it inhibits your special operations, guess what? That's what the Marine Corps is here for. And they're not necessarily wrong, except for the fact that the argument was like, well, then be good, but you can be good at both. And they eventually got that right. And they eventually were just good at both. But it's the weirdest, like backhanded compliment to be like, their special operations weren't as good as they could have been. And I don't even mean personnel wise, because they had the right personnel in place. So we talked about it on the episode. It has to do with joining up with SOCOM and funding and stuff like that.
Resources, opportunity. You're absolutely right.
But I say this all the time, and I believe this is true, even though I wasn't there. I know what a truth is. I would rather the right guys, tenacious guys, the right type of guys, built from the right culture, storm a building with M16s and iron sights than weak men with the Gucciest of gear. Because I see it happen across this country all the time, and not bashing them, I'm not, and certain SWAT teams. And guess what? Some SWAT teams are better than others. And some SWAT teams are better funded than others. And I'm just saying, I've seen some SWAT teams do a lot more with less, and I'd rather have them come and save me than some guys with the best of equipment because their culture is better.
You can put lipstick on a pig.
Right. Yeah. It's all about culture. Like it really, really is. And again, that's something else we talk about a lot. Hey, there's some, we never really got a chance to talk about it a whole lot. We do go into the episode, but it's just something really fun to talk about. Let's talk about the 777 just real quick.
Oh, you turning it over to me?
I'm turning it over to you.
Jeez.
I wasn't on the 777.
Better cue. You got to work on this better.
Well, I wasn't on the triple. Well, don't get me started. I should have been on the 777, but I'm trying to let that go. No, I'm just
totally. You had an opportunity. I gave you a softball, and you're like, no.
You wouldn't want me on there. I'm a lot to deal with. We're friends because I wasn't on the 777.
That may be true. That may be true. Holy shit. I think by the end of it, like the 9 guys are, I'm like, I love you guys.
Yeah.
And call me in 5 years. I'm joking. And they probably felt the same way. I'm
going to say something horrible. This happens sometimes when we do recording and a live at the same time. Did we talk about it already in the live?
We did.
Good.
We did.
Let's talk about the 777, the dive part of it, but possibly the next chapter.
So I think December of 2026, we're ramping up the planning. We did 4 world records by jumping all 7 continents within 7 days. It is a logistical jigsaw that some people can't put together, and that's what we figured out. There was nothing complex about the jumps. Yes, Antarctica was cold, but nobody really noticed. So we're going to replicate it, different route, different, let's say, obstacles or constraints, but we're going to do 7 continents, 7 scuba dives within 7 days. Some of the same crew, some new guys.
Okay.
Maybe Brent. But what is it? It's an opportunity to get the guys together to reflect by diving in honor of some of the guys we felt. And the best part of the 777, the first one, was listening, because each guy got to choose who we were going to jump in honor of on that continent. And to listen to guys like Jericho Denman talk about, I believe it was Sergeant First Class McDowell. It's like every continent, the one person that spoke raised the bar on before we jumped on the aircraft, or boarded the aircraft, I should say. And the last guy who went in Australia, the last jump, spoke about a Navy Cross recipient, and he topped it off. It was phenomenal. One of the best speeches I've ever heard.
I mean, I'm not saying it's the hardest thing you've ever done physically, but then again, you're also not doing this as a 20-year-old, and as someone who travels all the time now. When I heard the story, when I think about you replicating that and the possibility of having to tell you why I can't go on it, is because it's almost my nightmare, right? Get on a plane, not sleep very well on a plane, have a bad back, wake up, waddle to the vehicle that's going to take you to the. We'll talk as if it's jumped, because this is how it had to be. Straight to the vehicle, straight to a jump, make the jump, back on a vehicle, back to a plane, go to the next place, off the plane, straight to a vehicle, straight to a jump, back to the plane, sleep on the plane.
What it was, so we had Whoop was one of the sponsors.
Yeah,
and they were collecting the REM data. We
That's
don't want to
awesome.
release that data. It was bad. What do you call it? The RSV, your recovery it just was on a fast
I love
decline.
that you did that, though. I love that you did that.
Where we were smart is we had a guy named Dr. Kirk Parsley, who you got to have on the podcast.
Okay.
He was a SEAL who then they sent back to medical school, and he became a naval doctor, came back to the SEAL teams as a doctor. So he's walked in our shoes. The guy is well known for peptides, and he's a sleep expert.
Mm-hmm.
But he was, I think I had to get, it's something like pentide sodium shots in my knee and my right shoulder.
Okay.
Like in Miami, again in Egypt. It was because I was having shoulder and knee problems, but it was, we got through, and the guys were a mess at the end. A mess.
I can imagine.
I don't think, like for 30 days after that trip, I couldn't focus or concentrate to get anything done. It was a nightmare.
But as always, the worse it is,
the bigger the pride.
Right.
The bigger the pride.
Yeah, absolutely. Something you'll never forget. It's another trauma bonding experience that crew. You'll always think about the guy. You'll think about the guys you went on that epic trip with.
Do hard shit. That's all.
Do hard shit.
Do hard shit. It'll make you a better human being. But again, most people can't leave their comfort zones. And damn, that was a good time.
Yeah.
And there's a documentary we're going to release on Memorial Day on, I think, like Yanty's YouTube, our YouTube. So it'll be out there. It documents the whole trip.
And you guys were able to raise money for Folds of Honor for that $2 million.
$2 million. The goal was $7 million. So the one thing we fell short on the trip is we accomplished the mission. We set 4 world records. I don't think anyone's going to beat it anytime soon.
Yeah.
But we only hit $2 million.
I know.
And this dive trip is a continuation to get to that 7 because I made a promise.
I love that. I love the drive. Like I love the self reflection of it. But don't get me wrong, I almost don't want to take that away from you, which I can't because you're a driven man. But I don't think Folds of Honor was like, oh, you only gave us a couple $1 million.
Only $2 million.
Where's our other 5, Mike?
All we did for Folds of Honor was buy a country ticket.
That's right.
At the Hard Rock.
Yeah, we went to the Hard Rock.
Strings.
Yeah, Stars and Strings. Yeah, let me tell you, Stars and Strings didn't raise $2 million for Folds of Honor, but you did. But I love that you're continuing that commitment, and I believe it. Now I got to think. If you can't do it, I hope it does. That way you can rest. That way you can rest easy. I'm afraid what's going to happen is the first one's going to raise a couple million. Just make it up. This one raises 3 or 4, and now you got to do one more thing. Well, you've already done air. You've already done sea. What's the third thing that you don't even want to think about it, do you?
Space dive. If somebody can raise the funds for me to space dive, I will space dive.
No.
In a heartbeat.
Would you really?
Oh, in a heartbeat. I would
Coming
probably
for
fuck
your
it
Red
up.
Bull. Is Tier 1 going to sponsor that?
I'm going to give you guys a little patch. Can you be like, hey, 50,000? Get a little patch on your ass.
Get your little patch on your ass. That's about what we can afford. We'll afford. Yeah. We'll throw a lot in for the ass patch.
We will figure it out.
Yeah. We'll get, I'm telling you, Elon will get behind it. And now that you've mentioned it on a podcast of our scale and size, he's going to hear it.
Well, you knew there was a previous trip to that, right?
What did you do before that?
We went and skydived into Mount Everest, and that's probably one of the best trips I've ever taken.
Really?
So there's a documentary called Drop Zone Everest. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
But it was, you talk about,
What was your AGL and what elevation are you landing?
So we were
at?
using helicopters, which would usually release us at around anywhere from 23 to 25,000. So you're on oxygen.
Yeah.
Very quick fall before you deployed your parachute.
Yeah.
And we stair stepped. We did one landing zone at around 10,000 feet. Next was, I think, 15,000 feet at the base camp of Amand de Blanc, which is one of the most technical mountains around there. And then Gork Shep, which was, I believe, 17,500. So when you prepare for that, the highest we could get in preparation was Leadville, Colorado, which was, I think, 10,000.
It's, some people may not understand, and I get it, like unless you're in this world, but your landing elevation is higher than most people civilians skydive at here in Florida. In Florida, you're landing at the elevation that people are jumping out of airplanes on here in the land. It's just crazy.
It was epic.
Yeah.
It was epic.
Hey, Drew, any more super chats?
We do.
Did you get that back up around before
Yep. Let's see. We've got Lone Star Oil Gas. He says, celebrating wife being cancer-free, losing 75 pounds, and rededicating my life to Christ. Love the Tier 1 Squadron community.
Love that guy.
God bless.
He's on our Patreon, and I talk to him fairly often. Yeah, my man lost 75 pounds, and I'm talking to him right now. I don't want to like do a big step away, but I do want to talk about it because it's something that you're into. Yeah, I'm trying to get him on the right peptides for HBTRT, getting some blood work done, seeing if that's right for him based off of his needs. But I'm telling you, he's already lost 75 pounds. He's clearly putting in the work. And these aren't shortcuts, but if you're putting in the work, they're good add-ons. And I know you're very pro peptide.
Yes.
What have you been exposed to? What do you like? And what do they do for you?
So I will say, while peptides are a good supplement to help you get to your goals, nothing will replace the consistency of a good diet and working out. Hey, there's a reason, guys, I have a full-time job. I freaking love it. I'm up at 4:20. I'm hitting the gym by 5 and then hitting the office. Usually follow that up with around a 1,000 yard swim. So, and the diet is dialed. My wife is ridiculous. She's a phenom. But peptides, one Impamorelin, CJC, was it 195?
Yep.
A blend of BPC, was it 155?
BPC. There's a couple of BPCs, but that's another good one.
TB500.
Can't go wrong with those.
And what that is both gut health and recovery, joint health. I'm on Glow. Mm-hmm. Of course, NAD+. What else?
And if all this sounds like a foreign language to you, I'm telling you, like anything else, all this is at your fingertips. Go watch a YouTube video on it. Go Google it. Like, these peptides are not they're not some new science that no one knows about, or some like new supplement that hasn't really stood the test of time. Peptides work,
and they're recurring things that your body creates. It just, as you age, your body stops producing them at normal levels. Yep. I sleep better, I recover better. It's just, I can tell emotionally, mentally, I'm just in a better place. It does require commitment with taking the shots in the morning, because some you have to take in the morning on an empty stomach, some you take it before bed. But absolutely worth it, and I encourage it. Do the research, and you can go to Instagram, and there's some people on there that are gurus that will run you through it.
Absolutely.
And you just got to do your own research.
One of my favorite guys on Instagram, I don't know if you've run across him, but he starts each episode with, and he's a jacked dude, which I already want to believe him, because clearly you're jacked, you've been doing it, like you have the dedication, you know what you're talking about. And he always starts it with peptides like, I'm taking this peptide for 30, 60 days so you don't have to.
I know who you're talking about.
And I love that.
You did bring up a good point, is, there is nothing better than, my wife and I do two things: blood tests and a DEXA. You know what a DEXA scan is?
the DEXA scan, like the full body scan.
Yes.
Like that goes through. We had it at the unit, like at the very end. Yeah.
Because I took it there. So, a good measure of health is not only your lean muscle mass, but your body fat. And of course, you hear Peter Attias say the third is VO2 max.
Right.
So we keep an eye on those three things, plus our diet, our workout, and that's it. That's how we gauge our health. And we just, this is rare that I drink. I don't drink at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't drink much. Like I really don't. I drink, and the most I'll drink in one night is usually here at these lives, and then I'll really put a finishing negative touch on it by smoking some cigars after this, and then really make me realize why I don't do this very often. Maybe that's why we can't do lives more than once or twice a month for my own sake. What else we got, Drew?
I think Dalton Fisher might have sent us a picture that I wanted to share here.
Okay. Oh, on the fly, Drew.
There it is, boys. Caught me at a bad time. Thanks, Mr. Fisher.
Oh, Dalton. Thank you for that, Drew. I underestimated you. I didn't think you had the technical skills on the fly to receive that text message and put it out to the people the same episode.
I don't know. I actually don't know how it happened.
Look at you.
All right, let's see. Super chat.
All right.
Okay. How Arms? She might have bigger balls than us, but that's a lady.
That's a lady.
You want to end the poll?
Sure.
Let's end the poll here.
Okay.
I forgot about the poll.
Poll.
Too.
That ain't live chat. In poll. Let's see. It looks like a girl. 71%. Guy. 29%.
The people have spoken. I was way off. But hey,
brave of you all to assume their gender.
That's right. Hey, she still fooled 30% of people on that poll.
Good point.
Let's not forget that.
Only take one.
Oh gosh.
Man. You had to put makeup.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. Papa Penguin says the Marine Corps is like a fungus. It either grows on you or you get treatment. Signed a former Green Side Corpsman.
Nice. What is that?
Corpsman.
Okay. You know you did.
Corpsman is what I said.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, I missed one. Chase Lee says it definitely wasn't a Marine.
Okay.
What was it?
I know. That really should have been the argument. Just... If anything, I don't like right now. My needly they originally started with that's fake news, but I was like that's AI.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you, in the last month, I've seen more videos that I was fooled, and now I finally am programmed to be like. But if I see any wild video, now my first thought is I think that's AI. I'm not getting suckered again.
The dangerous environment we are.
It's crazy.
The benefits of AI, but now the fact that you can generate almost anything.
Yeah.
Scary.
Papa Penguin says the Corps was the only one who pushed back with data when bringing females into combat MOS. Nonsense went full stupid.
You're tracking that, right?
That they were the only ones that pushed back on that?
So they ran a test at 29 Palms. They had a full all-male infantry battalion, and then they put a equivalent infantry battalion mixed gender.
Okay.
And the data, because I've been on Fox and I've talked about this. In fact, I had Pete Hegseth on the podcast when he wrote The War on Warriors, and we went deep on it. So, I mean, you look at the females had a 3 times higher injury rate than males. Of course, the on shot or on target, efficiency was much poorer. They had sexual assault or sexual harassment issues. They couldn't get casualties off the battlefield, not nearly as quickly as the all-male battalions. It just was the proof that it was not a sound idea, and ultimately the Obama administration made the decision that they were going to disregard that data with an agenda and opened it up.
It makes me so upset. And to some degree, hey, guess what? If corporate America wants to play these games, you're gambling with your own profits awesome. Let the best man win. You don't do that with our national security.
I've got 2 daughters, and maybe it's because I've lived the life.
Yeah.
I don't want my daughters exposed to that. I don't want to deny anyone opportunity, but there was also other studies that showed that their reproductive system was impacted by this high stress environment. And so,
right. Yeah. I'm not surprised by that.
David Hookstead is
David
in
Hookstead.
Chad's. Had dinner with some great men from the UK Wednesday night. They asked what Americans think about the 22 SAS. I said, we love them. Could both of you like to weigh in on relationships with the SAS for the boys?
Absolutely. Thanks, David. I'll let you take lead on that.
They're us. Same mindset, same caliber.
They are.
I think, dude, we did take them in, and they took us in, and we operated alongside them. We were more the SBS.
Right.
That was more of our relationship. You guys had the SAS, but I think the only difference is it's just America. We have more funding, we have more resources, and hence the training can be at a much higher level. But those guys were on par with us.
Yeah, couldn't have been any more impressed with those guys, operator to operator. I said this on a podcast once, and I was dumb enough to go into the comment section and read what some people said, and you'll get what I'm saying, but I get it. Like, some people may not like what I'm about to say now for the second time, because I'm not smart enough to only say it once, but I believe it. And what I said, someone asked me about the SAS, and I said, I don't know a better way to say this, but let's just make it up. Let's say if I was in Syria and some Green Beret came and knocked on my door and it was like, hey, like, are you the Tier 1 guys? Can I come in and hang out? I'd pretty much tell them, no, you need to go walk 40 miles, and then you can come hang out with me. And that's a fellow American. If a British guy with an accent said, hey, I'm from the 2-2, I was told to come over here, are you the Tier 1 guys? Can I come in? I'd be like, get in here, buddy. Get in here as fast as you can. Let's hang out. And that's a foreigner. That's how, and I do. If you don't know the ins and outs of the military and special operations, that can sound like a pretty dickhead thing to say, but I stand by that. That is the truth.
They've attained an equivalent bar for which there's a mutual respect.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Love those guys.
That's it.
All right. Awesome. Mike, I'll give you the first of the last word before people start the mass exit. Is there anything you'd like to say?
No, appreciate it. It's been a fun day. It's good to see you, brother.
Great to see you.
For these guys who didn't hear, the last time we saw each other was 2021.
Yeah.
And I think the only...
Oh, man, we didn't talk about that.
I think the only thing I can say to you guys is you all can go to hell, because I'm going back to Texas. So I'm out.
It's hotter there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not this time of year.
Yeah, it's colder.
Yeah, this time of year is cold.
To the guest chair, Josh Magnet. What do you boys got?
Nothing much. Go Gators.
That's right. Me and Josh went to the Gator game. Watched the Florida State boys succumb to the men's college in the state of Florida.
Yep.
Received their whipping, their annual whipping, as they do. Magnet, what do you got? Do you own a business or anything?
Yep.
Do you have a microphone?
Nope.
I hate you. It's going to be so difficult.
Oh, no, I got it. Yeah, I own a business.
What do you got?
Lion Arms.
Lion Arms?
Yeah, well, I'm a firearms manufacturer.
Yep.
Out of Longwood, Florida.
All right.
Yep.
What's your website?
LionArmsUSA.com.
Custom.
Go pick up a Brent Tucker Tier 1.
That's right.
Right behind him.
There you go. Back to me, Drew. Boom. That gun right there. Made by Lion Arms. Brent Tucker series. Tier 1 series. Custom AR. It's a really cool gun. Reach out to him. He'll tell you all the specifics about it. Drew, what do you got?
I've got a podcast, Truth in the Dark. Whoop. No, there it is. Truth in the Dark podcast for proof that the Bible is not from man, but from God. Only God has prophecy, man does not. Check it out. Devin has apparently left the show, and she's the one tracking the songs.
$300 $300 one. I forget what it was called.
Marathon.
Devin!
He's out front.
Let's see.
Someone paid $300 for an outro song.
Deep Purple Hush.
Oh, what do you? Oh, do you
Wile E.
got it?
Coyote. I'm looking at a super chat.
All right. I know there was like a $300 one.
$300 from Wes.
All right.
He says, in honor of your sponsor and Suppressor Thursday, Deep Purple Hush for the outro.
She just texted it to me. She's watching it outside. You know what? I should have known better. She's on it. She always is. All right. The only thing I got to do is find this bad boy, and we'll get that.
Let's see. We got a Driven Addict says, Mike and Brent, who were the guys you personally looked up to when you got to Delta and the teams, and why? And what was Mike's rank?
Yeah, that's a good question. What'd you retire at, Mike?
Lieutenant Commander.
Boom. What is that in English?
04. Major. Navy and Air Force with their funky ranks.
I'm telling you, I hated it. My whole career, I never captain for whatever. Like I understood that because I knew one captain was not the other captain, and I had to know that the other one was in 06 and the other one's in 03, and it's a very big difference. But that's about it. Of course, admirals I got, but even worse. Thank God you guys would wear Army rank.
Yes.
Would you come hang out with us? Because like the more traditional, if you will, like sleeve rank or pad, never had a chance. Never had a chance at getting that right.
Yeah, I felt that way about the enlisted side of the Air Force. I never figured that out. Right. Command Sergeant Tech.
Yeah. Oh, it's even worse. I can't figure out. I should. Oh, there it is right there. Got it. All right. Oh, thank you. Perfect. Outro beers, just in time. And it was Deep Purple.
We were streaming it in the garage.
Thank you. I knew I could count on you. I apologize for ever questioning you. Here it is. And on this point, I read all the comments, not just the super chats. Come on, internet. Don't fail me now. Got it. Here we go. Who we got on there? In the chat section. Oh, that'll get you. YouTube is turning this into a silent film. Maybe. Probably. I got a voice for silent film. I got a face made for radio and a voice for silent film. That's what my mom used to tell me. That chick in the intro is AI, right? She's the hottest chick I've ever seen. She is AI, actually. Speaking of AIs, I'm finally getting AI savvy and not getting fooled by everyone. Trans Tim Kennedy. Yo. You get your, it's just yo, but you get your comment read because of your screen name. That's all you need. Oh, let's see what else I got. Drew's Tier 1 episode on Islam is definitely worth watching too. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. Kraken Tactical DC. What the hell has Bob O'Reilly cut the comms? Hey, here's something. Every now and again, people just send me stuff, and oddly enough, they didn't know this about me, but I love spices. I do, and so when someone's like, "Hey, we have some spices you want me to send?" I was like, "Yes, I do." So the Dirty Cleaver Company, the Dirty Cleaver Co. Go to their website. They sent me a whole bunch of seasonings, all-purpose seasonings. The Angler. This is some Italian seasoning. SPGO stands for
Salt, pepper, garlic, oregano.
Salt, pepper, garlic, oregano.
Out of Meadville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, they're out of
Shout
Pennsylvania, so you know Devin likes them. And then they sent me a whole bunch of sauces. So I want to give them a shout out and say thank you so much for that.
Devin, what was the word for trinkets that you brought up?
Oh my gosh.
Hold on, wait.
Let's see if anyone else knows this word.
Say it.
What was the word for trinkets that you brought up?
Tchotchkes. Yeah,
Mike, have you ever heard of that? You ever heard of that? Of course, you've heard of trinkets because you're an American.
Trinkets.
Trinkets.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the word you used?
Tchotchkes.
What?
Tchotchkes?
Tchotchkes.
That's a restaurant, isn't it?
No. Immediately no.
You got to run the show for a little bit.
In Texas, I think they call those whatchamacallits.
Oh, Mike is the captain now.
Finish strong with you there, Mike.
The lieutenant commander.
You gotta read the comments.
You got to read the comments.
Oh, yeah.
What are the comments? Where am I at?
Right there.
Anywhere. Just pick one.
Brent Chapman. Someone asked if Muhammad was from Ishmael. Islam says yes. Most Arabs came from Ishmael, so it's most likely very true.
I believe what that guy says.
Will we ever see Cag Daddy go do the grindy again in our lifetime?
The what?
Mike and Brett, who were the guys who you personally looked up to when you got to Delta in the teams, and why? Well, I looked up to Brent Tucker.
Obviously. Naturally.
I saw Drew's episode on Islam and enjoyed it. That's awesome. What do y'all think about Matt Pranka? Some of his training footage is in the intros, and he can be divisive. Believe it or not, I knew Matt Pranka in the Recon community. You got any thoughts on ICE? I watched part of Nate's stream, and he called them all mall cops. LOL. Apparently, he's not a fan.
Not everyone is.
That's like an East Coast thing. Only heard the word
Come sit on
the
Daddy's
last
lap.
month. I'm waiting for the day that guys blame AI for sleeping with the ladyboy on their trip to Thailand. Come on.
Come on.
Jump back in.
Oh. That's it.
You almost got me. Devin tried to get me to sit on her lap, and I almost did for a second. Then I realized that will be on JSOC Reddit for the rest of my life, and I'll get sent it over and over and over again.
Come sit on Daddy's lap.
All right, that is the show. Thank you so much. We're actually going to do a live next Thursday night as well. We have Tier 1 Air Force operator Fred Baker coming on the show.
Baker.
Yes.
Let's
So
go, Fred.
that's right. So we'll go from Navy to Air Force, and we'll just keep the Tier 1 theme mantra going. Thank you guys so much. His episode's coming out Monday. See you next Thursday.